Hey there Potter Puffs! Wow, I have the best video to share with you guys today. I'm going to show you guys how to make a killer Instagram. Now I've been doing this about 9 months now, and I've learned a lot about Instagram in that time, and I know lots of you guys want to know how I built up the following that I have and what kind of tips I have to start your own Harry Potter or just a normal Instagram. In this video I'm going to be showing you exactly how to set up your own photos, the tips that I think are the most important, just so you can start a great account yourself. So I'll just show you quickly my Instagram account. Here it is. I'm nearly at 17k, and just saying that is really weird because I never knew that I could get such a big Instagram. It's really crazy what's happened. I say it a lot. I won't go into it again because I'll probably bore you guys. If you want to build your following up, it's not about numbers in any way. You know, the most important thing if you want to start your own kind of business Instagram is to have engagement. Engagement is top priority. Throughout this video, I'm going to be telling you guys stuff, but I'm also going to be demonstrating exactly how to set up your photos and videos. So if you do enjoy this video, please do give it a big thumbs up, give me a subscribe and a comment down below if you like this video, if you think it's been helpful and it's given you tips for if you want to improve your own Instagram or start one. The first point that I really can't hammer into your heads enough is take good quality photos. So it doesn't mean buy an expensive camera, it just means use your phone, but use it in good lighting. So pay lots of attention to when you are taking these photos, so wait for the natural daylight. If you get a day where it's sunny, just take a bulk lot of photos at that point so you can see the natural colours of the objects, and it will really increase the engagement with your photo. So tip 2 is make sure that you stick to a consistent topic. Now I know a lot of you have a lot of varied interests. I do as well. I like arts and crafts, I like Harry Potter, lots of different things. But for this Instagram, I stick purely to Harry Potter. And the reason for this is not everyone has the same hobbies. So if you like, say, example guys, Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. I personally do not like Lord of the Rings. So if I was following an account which was doing both, I may unfollow because if they put up a Lord of the Rings post, it's not my interest, so I would unfollow. So you want to stick to a target and niche audience so that you know you're always posting things that they are going to enjoy. You need to make sure that you are engaging with other accounts in your chosen topic. So when I first started my Harry Potter Instagram, I was liking, commenting, going through people's feeds, DMing them, direct messaging, and just chatting to people and getting myself out there, because that's the best free kind of advertisement on Instagram, is writing those comments. People will click on other people's photos, see your name, Hufflepuff Queen, they'll be like, oh, I'll click on that person's account, and it gives you then some exposure and it will mean that you will get some follows. So number 4. Now this might be something that you hear from me quite a bit in this video, but it is really important. You need to be consistent. So you need to be consistent with the topic that you choose for your Instagram, you need to be consistent with the quality of your photos, and you definitely need to be consistent, in my opinion, with your posting time. So I will always post around 6 o'clock in the evening. Now, regardless of the algorithm changes and the changes that Instagram makes to make your audience less likely to be able to view your photos, your followers will know that if you normally post around 6 PM, that's when they need to look out for your photo. Now, I hope I don't upset anyone when I say this comment, and it's not there to offend anyone that does this. It is purely, all of this is my own opinion and what's worked for me to build up my account to what it is today. So this point is a little bit controversial. Point 5 is don't stick to a certain type of theme on Instagram. Now I don't mean go from Harry Potter to Lord of the Rings like what I was just talking about. What I'm talking about by theme is when people have the same background and same filters on every single photo. Now personally, I prefer to see a lot of variety on an account. So you stick to one topic, but within that topic, you do a big variety of photos. So you'll see on mine, it may look to some people like a bit of a mishmash because I have lots of different colours, lots of different types of photos going on. There is a method to my madness, but if I've seen a post yesterday, for example, when somebody is on their sofa with a Harry Potter book, with the same colour behind them in the background and the same kind of setup, it will look like the same post that I saw the day before. It's not to say it's a bad photo in any way, but I do notice that people like to divide up their feed with like 3 photos saying new theme, and then they will post all of their photos with the same background. So I've always followed a pattern, so I'll do some close-up photos, some layout photos, some flat lay photos, but I will never use the same background. So some days I will use my shelves, other days I will use my coffee table, other days I'll use a blanket, and I will rotate and go back to those things, but I won't for every single day use them in a row. So I would never use the same background for more than one day in a row, as much as I can avoid it. If you want people to really notice your photos, I would suggest that you change up the background very regularly. And with filters, I believe less is more. Point 6. Now this one comes from my lovely boyfriend John. Now he told me, in his own words, don't put your skanky nails in your photos, Bloss. So yeah, he's very subtle with the way he says things, but he is right with what he's saying. And you may have noticed that at the beginning, I'd have just held an object with just my normal nails on. Nothing wrong with that, but I'd often have little bits of nail polish, just doesn't look very professional. So John said to me, you need to start painting your nails or something. So you now notice that I always seem to have these on. And these are stick-ons from Primark. They cost me about £2. People think I get them professionally done all the time. That is certainly not the case. And I get a lot of comments on my nails, so I know that what John said is a valid point. I've got a couple of packs to show you. Just paint them. You don't need fake nails like me. You could just paint them. Just pay attention to detail with whatever you do in your photos. Here's another point which you'll get different opinions on. I personally use 8 hashtags and I always change them up every single photo. So you may see that most of the time I am hashtagging Hufflepuff, but I'll never use the same block of hashtags. I'll always change them slightly depending on what my photo is about. Now another thing other than consistency is you need to engage with your followers. Now that is something that I built the Hufflepuff Queen on. She's built on engaging with followers. You try and get an answer out of your followers. So you write a caption and you say, what do you think your favourite thing is about this photo? You're asking questions, you're driving engagement, and people will then comment on your photo and like it, and you're more likely to get more engagement that way. And it feels like you're having a conversation. Then make sure that you comment back. Number 9 is use your story. So your story is an amazing tool to get yourself out there. So at the beginning, I was shouting people out who were liking my photos, and they in turn were often shouting me out back, which was great. And that again gave me more publicity. That's not the right word. I've lost the word that I want to say here. It gave me more advertisement is the word I should use really. And people saw my account and then followed me through that. I like to show snippets of my day. Sometimes it's just me holding my mug at work, or if I'm going home, or if I'm making dinner. People like to see little bits of your life. Not too much, you know. If you're having a bad day, I wouldn't suggest you share that on your feed, but it is important to build up kind of a relationship. And that's why I gave you Potterpuffs a name. Number 10. Now this isn't about how many objects you have. So if you have a small collection, for example, of Harry Potter items, don't feel you can't start an account, because I've used the same object so many times in some cases. I'll show you one that I've used in probably at least 20 of my photos, if not more. This book. Honestly, if you go through my feed, it will really show me up because I've used it so many times, but people love it and I still get lots of engagement and likes no matter how many times I post it. So I post it in different ways, different types of photos at different angles, and it still works. So don't feel you can only post an item once. So I'm going to show you exactly how to take photos in the styles that I take them and how to lay them out, because I think it's better to show you guys than tell you guys about this. Okay, so I've just used 4 objects for the following photo. So we've got a cushion, which is my background, so you can be very inventive with your backgrounds. So we're going to be positioning my hand on top of the notebook, showing the Harry Potter rings that I'm wearing and my nails. We then have the notebook itself, which is a focal point, the wand pen, which I'm kind of going to be holding, and then any background space is just going to be the cushion. Here is the photo. Now I haven't edited it at all yet, but I took a while kind of arranging it, getting my hand into the right position, making sure all of the items' edges were in the photo. Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly how I edit photos. So click on brightness, and I haven't used a filter at all. I normally adjust this to about 25 and it just makes the brightness better, a bit more sharp. Contrast. Now usually that's less, so I put that on about 14 because if I take it any higher, my hand looks very red. Last thing I do is I sharpen. This is all I do. Take this to around 11 or 12 and that will make the font stand out, my hand stand out, the rings stand out. If you do it too much, it looks kind of blocky. So that is really all I will do to that photo. That was a quick edit and I don't use any filters. So this one was quite difficult. As you can see, I've changed around the objects. It looks like just a mishmash over here. So this is kind of giving you behind the scenes access to what the Hufflepuff Queen is really like. So I'm using my sofa, I have a blanket down, I'm using a box which came with some Primark pyjamas, which has got a sticker on and everything. I've then chosen different objects and empty bottles that I have drank out of and things to show you how I set up a Honeydukes photo. So here is the first photo I took. I started on the coffee table. I thought, no, that looks absolutely terrible. You can see my wallpaper, you can see my owl slippers, and it just doesn't look great. So this is the second one that I did. I didn't like this because I just thought it looked quite boring. And then I changed to this kind of setup. So I ended up taking about 20 photos to get to this and a lot of moving around. I arranged things like the sweets so you could see the plate. I put these two objects at the front so you didn't have loads of blank space. So it really works, but it is trial and error. I moved around the objects a hell of a lot of times. So just remember when you see my finished product on Instagram that I've gone through a lot of work, a lot of changing things before I get to the finished result. So the final kind of photo that I do is a lifestyle photo. So this involves me using Harry Potter objects in kind of the real world. I can't possibly take this photo because we have umbrella lighting, we have stuff everywhere here, iPads. So the idea of this photo is a Hedwig kind of lifestyle shot. So we've got the Hedwig pillow, Hedwig slipper socks, Hogwarts blanket, I'm reading Fantastic Beasts, and I have one of my favourite mugs, which I'd always fill up with a cup of tea, even though that is a bit scary because you don't want to tip it. You don't want to be holding an empty mug. You can see my socks, I apologise for that. So I kind of set it up like this, not in landscape, it'll be in portrait. Along these lines, I'd edit it up, make sure I don't have anything in the background, and that will also make a very nice photo. Okay, so part 3 is just quickly to tell you how to build your brand. So first of all, it's important to be a real person. Okay, so what I mean by that is this. Show your face in your picture if you can, because it really shows that there is a person running this account. It is not just something that is magically posting by itself. People like to know who the person is behind the account. I like to think that that's what people do with my account. People feel they have a connection with me, which is lovely and great, and I have that connection with them. And it's all because I show my face, I interact with them on my story, I do live videos, I do YouTube, and I ask questions in my captions, so that is important. With your bio is the information at the top of the page. Keep that short and clear. So with mine, I have put my real name, where I'm from, so the UK. I've got a thing about business inquiries. If you're going for that and you want to promote things, do that. And I've used crowns as my bullet points because I'm the queen. And then here we have a link to my YouTube, and it's just clear. People know what they're getting when they see it. It's not messy, it's not got too many different emojis. It just looks quite tidy in my opinion. So if Instagram does give you the option to switch to a business account, then I would highly recommend it. Now again, this is something that people have mixed opinions on. I have never had a decline in likes because of it. All it's shown me is when the best time for my account to post is, how many followers I've had that week. This gives me some more stats about what type of followers I have, where they're from, if they're male or female. So it's very interesting to learn and grow your brand using the Instagram tools that they've given you. So that concludes my video on how to build your own Instagram. I really hope it's helped to answer any questions you've had. Leave me a comment down below if you still need some clarification on anything. I've tried to fit in all the main points, but if you want to see more of these videos, please let me know because I could do you a YouTube one. I've got quite a few tips that I've just learned along the way on my journey. journey. So next week we have Geek Gear on the way, so it should be a Geek Gear unboxing, a video scene with my sister. Keep checking back on my Instagram to see what I'm up to. I'll leave all the links to all my different social media accounts down below. See you next week, guys. Bye!